Up to this point in your educational career, you've experienced history primarily through your textbooks. History to you is mostly about names, dates, and facts. And while names, dates, and facts are important, that's definitely not all there is when it comes to history. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to try and answer a very complicated question. How do historians do history? Or, in other words, how do historians discover historical truth? Or, to put it in another way, where does the information in your textbooks come from? Let's take a look. The first step in discovering historical truth is to ask a question. What is it that you want to find out specifically? This will help you focus your research. The second step of finding historical truth is to gather evidence of the past event you're researching. Historians call this evidence primary sources. Primary sources can be just about anything that is evidence of an historical event. For example, if you are researching the Civil War, some evidence you could find of the war might be things like soldiers' uniforms, newspapers, and letters from the war. If you are researching fashion from the 1920s, dresses, shoes, jackets, and even socks would be evidence of what was fashionable during that time. After sorting through what primary sources they need, historians then go about collecting as many of these primary sources as possible. They might find these resources in newspapers, historical archives, museums, or by interviewing someone who experienced or witnessed the particular event they are studying. The third step in discovering historical truth is to analyze the evidence historians have collected. How reliable are the sources? What information can the sources provide? What information won't the sources provide? Were the people who created the sources biased? Do the sources contradict each other in any way? By answering these questions and others, historians begin to interpret the evidence and discover historical truth. The last step in discovering historical truth is for historians to share everything they learned. This is where your textbooks come from. They are the result of historical research done by others. And while your textbook might seem pretty boring, the process historians use to discover the truths in your textbook can actually be very interesting and a lot of fun. And that's how historians do history.